things are going this way, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. Even down to my travel, I'm like, ooh, if it's like off, that flight ain't for me, or this ain't for me. Like,
you know, so then that was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? What was going on here? And
did that make you want to be a rapper more, or make you want to make more money to get it back?
Nah.
No. I'm not with him.
No.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, you know, I respect.
Yo Gotti spent nearly a decade chasing Angela Simmons, turning a viral DM into a real-life fairy tale. Luxury cars, diamond watches, and public confessions. He gave her everything money could buy. But now, that dream romance is falling apart in front of the entire world. Angela has gone completely silent, Glorilla has called him out, and whispers of a RICO case are shaking his empire. The internet is asking one question: how did the man who once had it all lose the love of his life, and maybe even his legacy, at the same time? Yo Gotti was in tears after Angela Simmons made her relationship with a new boyfriend public, and the whole situation has everyone talking. The twist: Gotti is now back in full swing, calling and pleading for her to come back, especially after Glorilla publicly called him out.
So what really went down?
Sources say Angela had been pulling away for months even before that infamous live feed. Expensive gifts, late-night calls, and constant chatter simply weren't enough to keep her close. Flashback to 2015. Gotti first admitted his crush on Angela in a viral direct message. He boldly announced to the world, "I just followed Angela Simmons. Boy, I got a crush on Angela Simmons." Fans were thrilled seeing a high-profile rapper lay it all out there for Reverend Run's daughter, who seemed untouchable. A Memphis rapper, unapologetically declaring his desire. It was a moment people couldn't stop talking about. Fast forward, and what began as a viral confession eventually turned into reality. By 2023, their relationship went Instagram official with a striking photo and the caption, "You are everything I need." From the outside, it seemed like a fairytale union, hip-hop's answer to adult couple goals, sophisticated, passionate, and enviably complex.
But appearances can be deceiving.
Behind the perfectly curated posts, insiders hint at a very different story unfolding. Despite the picture-perfect posts and glamorous displays, things were quietly unraveling. Insiders say Angela began feeling like she was the only one truly putting effort into the relationship. Yo Gotti's non-stop grind left her questioning if she was even a priority. And honestly, that's understandable. Angela isn't just some plus one for the cameras. She's a powerhouse businesswoman with her own brands, looking for stability and genuine connection, not just flashy headlines.
This is where the drama gets messy.
The whole situation with Glorilla and Yo Gotti was loud and chaotic, even though Angela herself never directly commented. Yet, the internet smelled something fishy. She wasn't being treated like a typical label artist. Instead, she was constantly showered with extravagant gifts, as if he was trying to buy her loyalty. Take the Maybach he gifted her for her birthday. An SUV worth $200,000, complete with a giant red bow. Not some flowers or a cake. This was over the top in every sense. Angela shared it on Instagram, captioning, "You are the greatest," and fans exploded in the comments. Her gratitude made it feel like he had just popped the question. And just when it seemed the gift game couldn't get louder, he added a $65,000 Audemars Piguet Royal Oak watch to the mix. Every move screamed luxury. But to some, it also hinted at imbalance, showy gestures masking deeper disconnects. The message was crystal clear. You don't casually drop diamond watches and luxury cars on someone unless there's a serious investment, emotional or otherwise. Naturally, fans began connecting the dots. They asked, is this just business, or is something deeper at play? Every time Yo Gotti spoke about Angela in interviews, it came across like a proud parent bragging about their star pupil. His public praise was unmistakable, and everyone noticed. Meanwhile, Glorilla's influence, though subtle, didn't go unnoticed either. She never threw shade at Angela, but her presence was so strong that people started whispering, if he's doing all this for Glow, where does that leave Angela? The tension was palpable, and the internet was ready for drama. And what was Angela doing amid all this chaos?
Something refreshingly different.
On her Instagram story, she shared a cryptic line. At night, I desire everything that flows. Everything that goes, everything that flows. This wasn't just a poetic caption, it was a quiet declaration. Angela was essentially saying, I'm not here to wait around for a man whose attention is elsewhere. Insiders confirm that while Angela isn't the jealous type, she's far from naive. She recognized the red flags and wanted more reassurance, more effort, more presence from Gotti. All of it clicked into place when Glorilla publicly called him out, exposing the smoke and mirrors behind those perfect social media posts. Now, the internet is glued to the drama like the latest reality TV binge, but the real twist? Gotti is the one frantically trying to win Angela back, while she remains completely silent, speaking volumes without saying a word. Silence often speaks louder than words, and Angela's silence has been deafening. If anyone was hoping she'd publicly drag Yo Gotti through the mud, they'd be sorely disappointed.
That's just not her style.
Instead, she delivered what might be the most elegant ego check imaginable. Months ago, on Angie Martinez's show, when asked if she was single, Angela replied, "Not by choice, but you know, I respect him." She smiled and added, "It's best to keep some things quiet.
He has my utmost respect and affection. He is working on his project.
I am glad for him." At the time, it seemed like a graceful closure, a quiet, mature way to draw a line. But after Glorilla's public stunt, that offhand not by choice comment hits differently, a subtle warning that's now playing out in real time.
Sources say Gotti is scrambling.
He's reportedly calling, sending flowers, and even leaning on mutual friends to mediate. Some websites claim he's revisiting her old Instagram posts, a classic I miss you move. The internet is having a field day, mocking the rapper who once chased his dream woman relentlessly, now begging her to return.
But there's more at stake here than just heartbreak.
Yo Gotti isn't simply a man trying to hold on to love. He's a mogul watching cracks appear in the foundation of his empire. Behind the scenes, industry whispers have been growing louder, rumors of a possible RICO case tied to his CMG label. While no official charges have been confirmed and nothing concrete has surfaced, the hip-hop community understands one hard truth. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Even the mere suggestion of federal involvement is enough to send shockwaves through a label, shaking confidence among artists, business partners, and fans alike. For years, Gotti has cultivated the image of a powerful boss, the man who could turn his city into a kingdom and his label into a dynasty. But when legal speculation starts to cloud that reputation, people take notice. Brands get cautious, promoters hesitate, and artists begin to wonder if staying close could drag them into something bigger than music. In an industry where perception is everything, rumors can be as damaging as facts. That's where Glorilla comes in. She isn't just another artist on the roster, she's one of the hottest new rappers in the game. Her rise has been meteoric, fueled by viral hits, festival bookings, and high-profile endorsements. For her, the stakes are sky-high. With her career on an upward trajectory, the last thing she needs is to be tied down by legal battles that have nothing to do with her artistry. The hip-hop world can be unforgiving, and association with scandal has ended careers faster than talent could save them. So when Glorilla publicly distanced herself from Gotti, it wasn't just drama, it was strategy. Her declaration of independence wasn't about petty feuds, it was about self-preservation. It was her way of sending a message to fans, brands, and industry gatekeepers. I'm not going down with the ship. She understood that protecting her name, her career, and her money required a clean break, and she made it loud enough that no one could misinterpret her stance.
And then there's Angela Simmons.
While Gotti grapples with rumors and Glorilla plots her escape, Angela is moving differently. Her approach is quiet, composed, almost surgical in its precision. She isn't feeding gossip blogs or dropping cryptic lines in interviews.
Instead, she's choosing silence as her weapon.
In a time when everyone is shouting for attention, Angela's decision to stay above the noise says more than words ever could. Her silence speaks volumes. It tells the world she won't be pulled into chaos that doesn't belong to her. It reinforces her image as a woman of grace, intelligence, and focus. She's not here to defend or condemn. She's here to protect her peace, her child, and her business ventures. And in doing so, she becomes the mirror opposite of Gotti, who looks increasingly frantic, desperate, and weighed down by the storm brewing around him.
This dynamic creates a striking contrast.
On one side, you have Gotti, embroiled in speculation, trying to maintain control of an empire that suddenly feels unstable. On another, you have Glorilla, publicly cutting ties to save her career before it's dragged through the mud. And then you have Angela, silent, composed, and unbothered, quietly building her life and projecting stability while the storm rages just outside her door. The narrative practically writes itself. The boss whose empire feels shaky, the rising star who won't let herself sink with him, and the woman who once symbolized stability now serving as proof that sometimes silence is the loudest statement of all. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear. This is bigger than gossip, bigger than relationships. It's about legacy, reputation, and survival in a cutthroat industry where the line between personal life and business is paper-thin. For Gotti, every move matters. For Glorilla, every step is about freedom. And for Angela, every moment of silence cements her as the calm center of a storm that threatens to reshape everything around them. Angela, meanwhile, is fully occupied. She's a mother, an entrepreneur, and a powerhouse building her own brand. Getting pulled into messy public drama isn't on her agenda. Her calm, respectful silence is a deliberate way of signaling that she's steering clear of the chaos. Yo Gotti, on the other hand, is struggling. Single, under public scrutiny, and potentially facing the loss of his top artist, is a far cry from the confident man who once flaunted his victory over a long-term crush. Rumors are swirling that Gotti is taking extreme measures to win Angela back, showing up at her door with flowers, making late-night calls, and orchestrating over-the-top gestures. But Angela remains unbothered, her focus fixed on her business and her son. Observers note that she's radiating a sense of calm and joy, completely unfazed by Gotti's efforts. Speculation even hints that she might be quietly exploring new relationships, though she's keeping her private life tightly under wraps. Meanwhile, the internet is in overdrive, tracking Gotti's every move. Blogs report that he's gone beyond phone calls, appearing unexpectedly at her son's sports events, sending lavish flower arrangements, and delivering extravagant gifts to both her home and office. This is strikingly out of character for the Memphis kingpin, the man who built his empire with a tough, no-nonsense reputation. The untouchable boss now looks frantic, desperate, and, for the first time in a long while, vulnerable. Vulnerability is a rare look for Yo Gotti, but insiders say his efforts to win Angela back have teetered on the edge of unhinged. Mutual friends report his attempting secret meetups and private sit-downs, pleading his case away from prying eyes. For someone like Gotti, a figure known for control and authority, this level of public desperation is almost unheard of.
But this isn't just about a romantic loss.
The entire Gotti empire feels like it's shaking. Behind the scenes, whispers of a potential RICO case tied to his CMG label have been circulating ever since young Dolph's murder trial reignited public scrutiny. While nothing has been confirmed and Gotti hasn't faced charges, the mere rumor has created a palpable tension. Because in an industry driven by perception, even whispers can spark instability. For Glorilla, one of hip-hop's hottest rising stars, the stakes are even higher. Her career is skyrocketing. Festivals, brand deals, endorsements, but getting caught up in a messy legal battle with her label boss would be disastrous. That context makes her public declaration of independence all the more logical, a preemptive move to protect her career before things spiraled out of control. Angela was simply safeguarding her empire before things spun out of control. Her choice to publicly distance herself from Yo Gotti wasn't just a personal decision, it was a calculated business move. She was protecting her brand, her future, and everything she's built from the potential fallout of Gotti's troubles. All the pieces, the swirling legal rumors, the public fallout with his biggest artist, and the very public humiliation from Glorilla, have formed a perfect storm. It's a triple threat to his image as a powerful, untouchable mogul. Suddenly, he's at risk of losing his empire, his top artists, and the one woman he had pursued for years. Angela represented stability, class, and an elevated, drama-free life, a stark contrast to the chaos surrounding him. But Angela has her own priorities to protect. As a mother, entrepreneur, and architect of successful fashion and health-focused brands, she isn't about to get tangled in whispers of RICO cases or messy public drama. Her calm, respectful exit now reads less like heartbreak and more like strategic brilliance, a graceful departure from a sinking ship. She isn't just unbothered, she's untouchable in her poise, moving forward while the storm swirls around Yo Gotti. Angela is actively crafting a life that stands in stark contrast to Yo Gotti's chaos. Her latest social media posts show her glowing, working out, enjoying time with her son, and radiating a calm, grounded energy that Gotti seems to lack entirely. The message couldn't be clearer, she isn't waiting around for him to fix his mess. Meanwhile, the fallout from Glorilla's feud only amplifies his public vulnerability. It's a double blow. His own rising star is pulling away, and the woman he's chased for years refuses to return. Fans are split between hoping for a reunion and laughing at the situation, with some remarking, "Bro, you're finally realizing what you lost." This isn't a romantic movie, it's a man watching his carefully curated world crumble around him. Gotti clings to Angela because she represented the last stable element in his life, but Angela has already redirected her energy elsewhere. For her, The focus is on raising her son, nurturing her brands, and building a future that doesn't involve cleaning up someone else's chaos. While he scrambles to hold on to what's slipping through his fingers, Angela moves with poise, letting her silence do all the talking. And in today's hyperdigital age, silence can scream louder than the most dramatic press release. If Angela continues to ignore him, this could become one of the most visible and heartbreaking collapses in hip-hop history. For years, fans watched Gotti's Down in the DM's crush story transform into a real-life romance. It was the fairy tale every rapper seemed to want, proof that persistence, fame, and wealth could make dreams come true. He didn't just shoot his shot, he landed it. The internet cheered him on as the man who manifested his dream woman. But now, the same internet that once hyped him up is watching, frame by frame, as the fairy tale dissolves. The memes, the commentary, the speculation, it all fuels the narrative of a love story crumbling in real time. And make no mistake, the stakes are high.
This isn't just about a breakup.
It's about image, perception, and the fragile foundation of legacy. In the music industry, where reputations shift overnight, how Gotti handles this public unraveling could define the next chapter of his career. Will he bounce back with the same confidence that made him a Memphis powerhouse? Or will this heartbreak, amplified by rumors of legal troubles and artist disputes, be remembered as the beginning of his decline? Two things are undeniable. Silence doesn't erase a story, and when legacy, love, and loyalty collide, the world pays attention. Angela's silence, intentional or not, has created an echo chamber where fans, blogs, and insiders fill the void with speculation. Every time she posts a photo of her working out, smiling with her son, or promoting her business, people interpret it as a message, proof that she's thriving without him. Each image becomes a contrast to Gotti's desperation, reinforcing the idea that she's moved on while he's stuck clinging to the past. Angela represents stability, refinement, and independence. She is not just someone's girlfriend. She's the daughter of hip-hop royalty, a respected entrepreneur, and a mother building a life of substance. For Gotti, she wasn't simply a partner. She was a symbol of everything he lacked at this stage in his life. Losing her means more than losing a relationship. It means losing the balance, class, and legitimacy that she brought to his world.
And that's why he's fighting so hard.
Not just for Angela the person, but for Angela the idea.
But Angela is playing a different game.
She knows her value and refuses to settle for anything less than consistency, respect, and genuine partnership. Her silence is her strategy, allowing her to exit the situation with dignity while avoiding unnecessary public drama. In a world where everyone is quick to air out grievances online, her refusal to engage speaks volumes. It's a masterclass in control. She doesn't need to say a word because her actions already tell the story. Meanwhile, the industry is watching this unfold like the latest reality show. To many, Gotti's public pursuit of Angela was inspirational, a lesson in persistence paying off. Now, the unraveling is being dissected just as closely. Blogs are chronicling his every move, fans are debating his motives, and critics are questioning whether he's lost the focus that once made him a dominant force. For an artist and label boss, perception is everything. And right now, the perception is shaky. If this were a movie, Gotti would be at the part where the hero faces his lowest moment. The dream woman is gone, the empire is under pressure, and his credibility is being tested. The question now is whether he can turn the narrative around, or if this heartbreak will mark a permanent shift in how the world sees him. Angela's next move will decide the final chapter of this story. If she continues on her path of quiet strength, focusing on her business and her son, she'll emerge as the woman who walked away gracefully, untouched by the storm. If she decides to speak, her words could either offer closure or add fuel to an already blazing fire. Either way, her choices hold weight, not just for her own brand, but for how hip-hop fans and the industry will remember this saga. At its core, this story isn't just about romance. It's about power, perception, and survival in the ruthless world of entertainment.
Gotti's persistence once made him a symbol of determination.
Now, his desperation risks making him a cautionary tale. Angela's calm has made her the picture of grace under fire, while Gotti's unraveling shows just how fragile even the most powerful images can be. One thing is certain, nothing fades quietly in hip-hop, especially when love, loyalty, and legacy collide. The end of this story won't just be remembered as the close of a relationship. It will be remembered as a turning point for Gotti, for Angela, and for how the industry views the intersection of personal lives and public empires. And until Angela makes her next move, The world will be watching, waiting, and dissecting every silence, every post, and every rumor.